Hello, friends, and welcome to the MovieBabble Podcast. I am your host, Nick Kush, and I am so thankful you are joining me today. Wherever you're listening around the world, whatever podcast hosting you use, I don't really care. Just thank you for listening. I really appreciate that. And so, a couple of you, or most of you maybe, are probably thinking two things at the moment. First, who the hell is Nick Kush? And second, what the hell is MovieBabble? Fair questions. I'll accept those. And the purpose of this introduction podcast is to answer those questions as well as give you a little insight on what's in store for the rest of the podcast moving forward and things like that. A lot of logistic things that I think are necessary to clean up before we get into the nitty-gritty of what I want to do here. So, for me, I'd probably say for the longest time I was like most people and I just casually watched movies, whether on TV or go to the occasional one in theaters. You just like movies in some capacity, and everyone does, and those that don't are lying, and they can't be trusted, and you should never listen to a word they have to say. So from there, I guess you could say I was a bored college student at one point. So in 2016, it was fall break. I had nothing to do, and on a whim, I decided, let's make a blog. And I started as just by myself, just sharing my thoughts on movies I went to see, or really anything expanded into like movie news, things like that. From there, one thing goes to another. You have a few people who want to join you. They like what you want to do. Those dozens of views a day turn into a couple hundred, and from there. And over time, MovieBabble turned into a little more than just a little one-man operation and a hobby of mine. It turned into what I would say is probably a job. And I'm really happy to where it is now. I have a bunch of people on my staff, which is a really cool thing to have. And from there, I got a little recognition for myself. I became a recognized film critic as a member of the Internet Film Critics Society. I swear I'm not lying. Go on the website. You can see my beautiful headshot among the other critics there. So on MovieBabble, the staff and I, we like to really just do whatever interests us. So we review the newest films, create top 10 lists, rankings, in-depth analysis pieces, surveys with the rest of the staff, and even satire. We just like having fun and talking film, and we like to bring that to you in whatever capacity, which is why I wanted to do this podcast as well. And we really focus on listening to you as the listener, reader, viewer, whatever. We really like to cater what we do to your interests and what you like to see. And so I think that's a really important thing that most content creators are missing these days. And we just want to listen to what you have to say. So whether you drop comments on our site or create reviews of the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever else, we really just want to hear what you have to say, and we think that's the best way to approach content in whatever manner we decide. So as for the podcast itself, we have a lot of really interesting ideas that we're going to bring your way in the coming months, years, whatever. I like to start out with a lot of interviews with people in the industry, a lot of either rising stars, current stars, or everything in between. I have a lot of really cool content coming your way in that regard. And we also want to move in towards panel discussions with the rest of the staff. And like I said before, we just want to cater to you guys, and we think that's the best relationship to create here. So, yeah, that about does it for this introductory podcast. I really appreciate all of you that are listening out there. And if you could do me a little favor and subscribe, please subscribe. It really helps me and the rest of the staff out. And as my friends would probably want me to say, smash that like button, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, download my, whatever, I don't know, just doing a bit at this point, and you get to look forward to all the fun content coming your way. So, until next time, I really appreciate you tuning in with us, and we will see you later.